Hello, welcome down to the Coffee Pod channel. Today we're going to be doing a comparison between the Outin Nano and the Outin Mino. So if you like, subscribe, share, and any comments you want down below, I would really appreciate it as we go through the differences and a few similarities between these two. Because although the obvious one is the size, there's a few similarities between these. In fact, I've picked out 3 similarities. And the first one is the water. You can put hot water or cold water in both and it will pump out hot water down the bottom, right? So you can put cold water and it will heat up, or hot water and it'll extract straight away. Okay, so no difference there whatsoever. The next similarity is it can do Nespresso pods or grinds if you want to. Just change the basket on either of them. So there's no difference there. Okay, so when you're extracting, and as we're talking about extraction, I've timed it, and from doing hot water or cold water, it's pretty much identical. So you're not going to get coffee any quicker out of either of them. So put coffee in that one, grab that one, you're going to get your espresso shot out of there pretty much at the same time. Right, that's where the similarities end, and now we're going to talk about the differences. Right, let's talk about a few of the bigger differences. Okay, so there's kind of 3 really big differences. The obvious one is the size. Okay, so this is a lot smaller than this. However, this is actually heavier. So let's do size first. So the Mino, I'm taking it with this case on, okay, is 19.5 by around 6.5. This is a lot longer at nearly 24 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Okay, now the difference is in the weight. Is this one is 685 grams and this one is a bit lighter at 670. So although this is more portable, it's heavier, but negligible in difference in weight. And to be honest, when you feed them together like that, yeah, they do feel very similar. But obviously for the portability, right, it's going to be this one over this one. Now let's talk about another important thing as well, is price. So currently on the website, I'm not going to put Amazon prices because they go up and down, but on the website and the RRP, this one is £140. This one is 180, so it's £40 more than the new one. You'd kind of expect that. You kind of expect that the new one would be more money than that one. But I'll leave links down below where you can get hold of it. And I'll put Amazon prices as well because they do fluctuate. But if you're watching this in the Black Friday sale, they are both in sale at the minute. Right, and another question I know that people asked a lot is the basket sizes. So these, can they be swapped? And, well, yes and no. So if I take out either of them, right? So my Nano, there's my Mino basket. That doesn't fit in there. Okay, so you can't put the basket from the Mino into the Nano. But you take the Nano basket, and it does actually fit, but not very well. So you probably could use it. I just wouldn't trust it. So I'd say no, you can't swap the baskets. Even though they look pretty similar, they look almost the same size. This one's your Mino, so this one is actually bigger than the Nano. Look, the Mino, the Nano. There. Okay. Right, let's talk about some really small differences between these two. So there are different colours available, right? So this one, the Mino, can come in brown, green and white. The Nano comes in teal, grey, green, white, pink or blue. Really, that's it with your options. And another thing as well, a little thing as well for me, it was certainly on my review, is the USB flap at the back there. It folds up like that and it's a bit annoying. It's a bit of a pain to get in there. Whereas this one, you just do that and you put it very small, but it is a difference. And then if we spin it round, the other difference we have is LEDs on the front. So if you press that once, you can see how much battery power you've got in it for. If I press this once, you just get a coloured LED there. So it's white, so it means it's full. If it was orange, it would be half full. Of red, it would be nearly full. That's it. And speaking of this button, it's much clickier, this one. So I've pressed this in. It clicks. Press this was running. It doesn't click, it's just a spongy press. And also the other small difference between these two is this one will take 80 millilitres, this one will take 70. So if you look in here, it says in there 70 mils. Let's get this cleaned up there. They're maximum 70 mils. This one will say maximum there, but it says 70 mils under it, so this one can do a little bit more. This one can do 80 mils. However, I've never actually used 80 mils. I just go on 40 or 50 mils personally. So whether that's a difference for you that makes a difference or not, I'm not sure. And another one, this is quite a big one for me, is this thing, this plastic cup underneath. When I originally reviewed this one, when you're making an espresso, you like that, you prompt it on there, it has to sit on there and kind of all of the steam and the vapor gets caught inside of here. Whereas it doesn't happen with this because the cup acts as a stand like that. Remember I did have a problem in my review with this, doing that, but as long as you can get over that, it holds up, so there's a gap in there for this to fill up. So they've definitely improved the cup on the Mino. So another difference is this one, the Mino, is IPX67, which basically means you can dunk this underwater for a meter for 30 minutes. You can't with this one. I'm never going to go swimming with this. I'm not going to dunk this underwater, but it just means that when I'm out and about, if I get rain on my backpack and this covers it, I know this is going to be safe. You can't be 100% sure with this if you're out in the rain with it. Okay, so if you are camping or going in extreme places, you're going to be going with this one, I think. And another thing is, well, as I'm going to notice, is the box contents. So I haven't got the contents of this because this is over a year old and I've lost it and I've got all sorts. But it comes basically with the Nano. It comes with 2 adapters for your Nespresso and your grinds, a spoon, plastic spoon and tamper as one, and a charging cable. Great. This one comes with the 2 adapters, which I've got, which is my grind adapter here, a foldable spoon and tamper, and also this, which is a dosing funnel. So you pop that on there like that, and then it makes it just a bit bigger, so when you're doing it from your Pheno grinder, it just makes it a lot easier to put it in this. Okay, so you don't get that with the Nano, you get it with the Mino though, so that's a really useful thing. And also you get a basket removal tool with this, which I haven't got because I don't need it, and also you get a charging cable with this as well. So overall you get a little bit more with the Mino than you do with the Nano. Right, before we brew, here is the big one, the big obvious one. It's the battery on this thing. Now you'd think the battery wouldn't be as good on this. It's actually better than this one. So the battery on this is 7000 mAh. I get around 4 cups with this when I'm heating it up, okay? When it's hot water, loads. But when I'm heating it up, 4 cups. Okay, this one is actually 9000 mAh, right? That's quite a bit more, and I can get 6 cups in this. It takes 1 hour and 45 to charge. It takes around that to charge that as well. So in terms of battery, this one, even though it's smaller, has a better battery. I would be much more trusting this one over this one for terms of wanting the numbers of coffee to get out of it. Right. Shall we crack on and start making a coffee out of the 2? We might as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and set this up. So let's have a look. We're going to set this up. We're going to put this one on the stand like that. And then I'm going to hold this one over here. So it fills up these 2 containers, and we'll look at the quality of espresso that comes out. So we can do a visual comparison of the 2. Oh, and we're going to do... We're going to do Nespresso pods, okay? So that's going to be, let's pop those in. They are the same Nespresso pods we're going to use as well, okay? Right, bear with, let me go and heat up my water. Right, I've got my hot water. I'm going to go 50 mils, okay? There. And there. 50 mils in both, identical Nespresso pods. So let's pop over to here and then let's set them off going. So the Nano's finished. Mino's finished now. Okay. Now let's move these out of the way here, and then we can have a look without getting them mixed up, the quality of the espresso. So that is the Nano, that is the Mino. If we take a look on the top here, we can see the Mino has just done just a fraction more, so nearly 50 mils, that's including creamer, and I'd say the Nano is probably 5, if not more, mils less. But equally, I wouldn't have an issue with either of those at all. It'd be better if I go to this camera, and just a bit more out of the Mino than the Nano. Right, well, it'd be rude not to do a taste test, so let's taste it. Look, so already the Nano here is losing a bit of creamer, but I'm not going to hold it against it. Nice and hot. Let's try it. Yeah, as expected. I think you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference, but as you can see, look, the cream has lasted longer on the Mino than the Nano. Is that a big difference? I'm not sure. So, really, difference between the two in the taking out the shots, I won't worry about it. I think when you're out and about and you're going to want a nice espresso, whether it be grinds or whether it be Nespresso pods, I think either one will do. Right, so that's my comparison between the two. It's not just the size, there's also things like the battery to take into consideration. Which one would I choose out of these two? It's pretty obvious, it would be this one. I just think the size and the better battery just trounces this every time. Small things as well, like the little stand there. It just wins it over for me. Yes, it is more expensive, but I would happily pay more money for the Mino than the Nano if I were you, if you were deciding between the two. Right, I hope that's been good for you. I hope I've given you some differences and maybe some of the similarities as well. I really appreciate it. So go and have a look. I will share where I got both of these from online in the comments below. And if you've got any other differences you want me to compare them between the two, do let me know. I think I've covered everything. Right, I hope that's everything. Please do like, please do subscribe. Until the next video, bye-bye.